And I think with our little secret, we're going to do really well with the House, right? Our little secret is having a big impact. He and I have a secret. We'll tell you what it is when the race is over.
Like a supervillain, the former president couldn't help but to share that he has a little secret plan he and the Speaker of the House have been putting together. You know, it's a characteristic they share with the guy that plotted out his entire agenda at Heritage.
The good news, I told you I would tell you why it's bad, maybe add a little bit of color, but also tell you why we're going to win. We are winning. There are a lot of victories that have been secured. Some of them are partial. Some of them in ways that the other side doesn't yet know are foundations for what's coming. And that's just the beginning. And we're not going to tell you everything that's coming. Because for the first time that I'm aware of, the conservative movement, or as I really like to put it, the common sense movement in the United States has really nothing to do with ideology, is ready to fight.
You know, it's weird how the bloodthirsty guy that leads the organization Trump openly supports to craft the Republican agenda has dirty little secrets and things in place, just like Trump does. You know, why should any rational thinking voter want to support a guy that tried to overturn democracy, then smirk and chat to their faces about secrets he's got in store for the country?
Donald Trump hinted yesterday in his speech that he has some secret with Speaker Mike Johnson. Now, you wonder, why did Donald Trump come to New York 9 days before the election? This state is going to go to Kamala Harris. And the answer is that the House really runs through New York. There are 7 races that could go either way in the House, and that will likely determine the majority. And make no mistake, the House, we get sworn in on January 3rd. On January 6th, the certification of the Electoral College will happen again, and as we know from 2021. Whoever is in control of the House, of Congress, will be able to have a lot of say on what happens on January 6th. And I suspect, we don't know, but I suspect Donald Trump's little secret plan with Mike Johnson is a backup plan for when he loses, and he tries to go to the House of Representatives to throw out the Electoral College, the certification from the states, and have the House of Representatives under the leadership and the control and the gavel for Mike Johnson, and try to overturn this election.
So at this point, all we've got is this kind of speculation, which should make every reporter and media outlet hound these two day and night over the secret that they're hiding from the American people when it comes to our election.
There's a couple of things. As you mentioned, this was a hate rally. Mm-hmm. This was not just a presidential rally. This was also not just a campaign rally. I think it's very important for people to understand that these are mini January 6 rallies. These are mini Stop the Steal rallies. These are rallies to prime an electorate into rejecting the results of an election if it doesn't go the way that they want. Because Donald Trump and that entire cadre of people up on that stage, Stephen Miller, et cetera, do not respect the law of the United States of America. And they either want to win this election or they are using rhetoric of taking it by force. And the only reason that the rhetoric has gotten this far is precisely because they are trying to prime the kind of froth that led up to the January 6th attack on the Capitol.
Mm-hmm. You know, it's actually kind of been a standard ever since MAGA was stopped on January 6th. A drumbeat of claiming it wasn't MAGA. Then it was MAGA being invited in. Then it was only a few bad actors. But through all the excuses, Trump has vowed to pardon the criminals sitting in jail and unequivocally refused to accept his loss. The idea is to inspire those that escaped accountability and those that dream of being in the gang to stand back and stand by until the next order is given. If not, maybe Trump and his weak-kneed puppet should explain themselves.
I made a commitment immediately after I got the gavel that we would start releasing that. Originally, we were trying to blur some of the faces to protect the innocent, people who were just there and just happened to be walking through the building. But then we realized a lot of this is out there in the public anyway. And so, yeah, we're releasing America as fast as we possibly can. We had to hire new staff to do it. They're uploading it. It's a 24-hour operation. And all that tape will be out there as soon as possible.
And just like Trump's running mate, Mike Johnson has proven that he's willing to turn reality on its head and follow the first rule of MAGA: never admit that Trump lost.
And, the allegations about these voting machines, some of them being rigged with this software by Dominion. Look, there's a lot of merit to that. And when the president says the election is rigged, That's what he's talking about, that the fix was in. You know, I could give you example after example in all these states. I don't know how much time y'all have this morning, but there's some of these lawsuits have a lot of merit, and we need to exhaust all the legal remedies. And I'm saying that the system is set up for massive fraud and error and irregularity, and we cannot have that in our election system. And that's why we're saying exhaust all the legal remedies. We have to do that. The president knows we have to do that. If we don't, people are not going to have any confidence in the election system itself, and that is a serious problem in a constitutional republic. But when you have it on a broad scale, when you have, you know, a software system that is used all around the country that is suspect because it came from Hugo Chavez's Venezuela, when you have you know, testimonials of people like this, but in large numbers.
He's checked all the boxes, just like Vance, who also oddly got the enthusiastic support of the same guy that vowed bloodshed for the left when he triggers another American revolution in Donald Trump's name. The same guy that's teasing secrets the way the former president has. They're openly colluding in our faces while we just sit back and watch.
I come full circle in this response and just want to encourage you with some substance that we are in the process of the second American Revolution, which will remain bloodless if the left allows it to be.
We have confirmed news that Senator Vance is the vice presidential running mate. You will see a broad smile on my face because you may know that we're good friends. I will offer two comments about that. The first is the entire list of names considered are great men and women, truly, all of them friends of Heritage. There, among them, though, was someone that privately we were really rooting for, and he's just been named the running mate. Why were we rooting for him? Not even because of politics and policy, but because of who he is.